strong barricade of will and words and commitment come on and on. We cannot say it will never happen again. The brutality which I discovered of the Pakistani army, the killing fields around Jessore and more south around Khulna, were the proof of this terrible savagery which is in the heart probably of mankind and which can only be opposed by the laws, the institution, or the bravery of people. I understood the second thing about bravery precisely. Those who know, those in the West who pay attention to the history of Bangladesh all of them are convinced that Bangladesh was liberated by the Indian army, which is true, of course. At the end of this terrible war against the civilians, after 8 months of bloodbath, after 8 months of rapes, the Prime Minister of India of this time, who was a great lady, India in this time was a great country, decided to end the story. But it was not only India. The souvenir I have is that this final victory, this liberation of the land, this defeat of what was considered by the rest of the world as a powerful army was due also to the people of Bangladesh itself. I remember, for example, in Gohala, which is a city east of Jessore, when I spent a few days, I remember how the Mukti Bahini were already so strong, so well organized, so disciplined, good warriors, that the Pakistanis remained hidden, protected, buried in their own barracks in Gohala. I remember another city called Besantar, close to Gohala, where more than that, the Pakistanis were repelled, were defeated by the Mukti Bahini. What I was witness was that a popular uprising, a popular army, when she is inhabited by real values, is stronger than an army who does not know why she fights and who is more or less aware that she is this bad army who fighting for dictators 2,700 kilometers away. I really discovered this valiancy. And from October to November, from my first entry in Bangladesh in Satkhira, where the Pakistanis were still there, the Pakistanis still held the border between India and East Pakistan. And I could only enter at this time, October, by smuggling myself with a father of family who went back to take his family. Between this moment and a few weeks after, it was night and day. Mukti Bahini had constituted themselves as a force. The Pakistanis had left the custom points, the checkpoints at the border of India, and one could already guess November, beginning of December, that they could prevail. By the way, when you consider, and when you were witness, as I was, of the capitulation act of the Pakistani army, it was a strange event. The capitulation of Dhaka, the day of the capitulation, December 16 or 17, 16, the Pakistanis in Dhaka were much stronger than the Indians. They were much stronger in number. I don't have the figures, but there was probably 5 or 6 times more Pakistani soldiers inside Dhaka than Indian soldiers under the order of General Aurora surrounding the city. But the Pakistanis signed the Capitulation Act. Why? One could say that the Indian army was a fresh one at offensive. There has been a theory which is not false that the Indian General Jacob, who was, by the way, a Jewish general, who made one of the most incredible bluff of the history of strategy. He made the Pakistanis believe that the Indians were much more numerous, and so on. There are many theories about the capitulation of the Pakistanis. I think that one element is crucial. The Pakistanis knew, because they had made the experience of it, that on the ground, on the battlefield, the Mukti Bahini were the strongest. They knew that even if, I don't know, if they